Hi everyone, today I want to give you guys some first date tips, and while I do that I'm gonna try a new makeup look. I'm going to follow this tutorial, a Blackpink Lisa makeup tutorial. Lisa has always been my favorite member of Blackpink, so I'm really excited to try this video. I also got the bangs, so it's the perfect opportunity to try out this look. I feel like whenever I don't use this curler, my bangs just look crazy and awful. After I take a shower, they're just never in the right place. So I have to keep this in while I'm doing my makeup. Let's just get right into the video. I'm gonna start with base makeup. Basic tips on first date etiquette. I've been on my fair share of first dates. This video is going to be about all first dates in general. Okay, so obvious tips are first, hygiene, being on time, being an active listener, asking questions, basic stuff I feel like not all people know, which is pretty sad because it's just human decency, honestly. Most of the tips you'll hear about first dates, in my opinion, are good qualities to have all around in your life, whether it be with friendships or in work. They're also really useful and just basic social skills and etiquette that help you navigate your life and relationships outside of your romantic relationships as well, which makes a lot of sense because obviously you need to be treating everyone in your life with respect, and somebody you see as a possible romantic partner should not be any different than these people in your life. I still must highlight these very key important things you should be doing on a first date. When you're on a first date, you should be making sure you arrive on time because that shows you're a reliable person. That shows that you are able to respect the other person's time, that you respect your own time, that you can keep your word, you're responsible. It shows all those things just by doing that one little thing, showing up on time. And I don't want to be a hypocrite, but the last really good first date I went on, I was actually late. So I will put that out there. But as a person, I am always on time, and I think it's very crucial on a first date when you're making a first impression to be on time. And so when I wasn't on time, I felt very, very guilty. But it's also important to note that things that happen on a first date sometimes aren't a full reflection of who a person is, and you can't base your whole opinion and understanding of a person on a first impression and just a single date. Most of the time you won't be able to read a person's full true character through the first date. It's important to note that because I don't want this video to be like your measure of whether or not a first date went well, because a first date is just a first date at the end of the day. Just because the date goes bad, it does not mean that you're a boring person or they are a boring person, or that you are a bad person or they are a bad person. It simply means that you are not compatible with each other, which happens so often and nobody should be taking offense to it. But my date first tips are very simple. I think these are the key things that are very easy to achieve and everyone should be doing. Obviously, have good hygiene. Obviously, try your best to be on time. Even early is better than being late. Like I said, my last first date that went really well, I was late and I felt so bad about it. I apologized so much, and I promised that that was never a common thing for me, and it was just a total slip up. Another important thing is to be a very active and open communicator. Be honest. Lying is never good. Lying on a first date is not really acceptable unless it's to protect yourself or to protect the other person and isn't a lie to manipulate or deceive. Other good first date tips include making eye contact and using the other person's name. And what I mean by that is saying their name in conversation from time to time when it makes sense, not saying their name randomly out of nowhere. Everyone loves hearing their own name. This is studied in psychology. It's actually a psychological trick. I don't want to say it like that because it sounds manipulative, but it's a way to make other people feel closer to you. So something as simple as saying someone's name in conversation by greeting them, it really makes the other person feel special. People love hearing their name. People love when you give them a genuine attention and appreciation and respect. And saying their name is like the easiest thing you can do that makes the other person feel good about themselves. Make sure you maintain eye contact when you're listening to them, when you're talking to them. A normal amount, obviously, not like you know, not blinking at them, staring at them profusely. Healthy, normal amount of eye contact. Obviously, this applies to only certain cultures. I live in Canada, so only Western culture dating I think applies to this, because not all cultures like eye contact. I had to learn eye contact as I got older, because when I was younger, I grew up around Asian people, and Asian people in their culture don't like eye contact. Don't make eye contact with your family, don't make eye contact with your friends, and it's actually seen as disrespectful in certain cases to make eye contact with people. So I kind of became very comfortable averting eye contact with people, and I realized as I got older, in Western society, eye contact is highly valued. It is a actually important skill that is learned, and it will be an asset to you in life if you use it properly. Eye contact, very important also on first dates. I learned it through my workplace and through my day-to-day activities. I think that's something that requires a lot of practice. It's not as easy as it sounds. I know it sounds ridiculous probably to some of you, saying that you should be making eye contact with your date, but it's actually more important than you think. So make sure you make eye contact. Some general safety tips for first dates that I go by, I used to follow religiously, and you know, sometimes I had to learn it through my friends telling me that this isn't safe, through social media telling me that this isn't a good place. And I'll just give you an idea of first date locations that are good, because there are definitely places that you should not be going on first dates. Some people say you shouldn't get picked up on a first date because you don't know this person very well, and being in a moving vehicle with them is dangerous. Personally, I haven't had any bad experiences with that, but usually I knew the person a little bit before going out with them and getting picked up. Thinking about it now, I think getting picked up on a first date isn't the best idea, especially if you don't know the person well, because you don't want to be stuck relying on this person to get somewhere and come back, unless you can very easily get back on your own if things go wrong. Second, make sure your first date is in a public area where people can see you, and you're not in an enclosed space with one person, or you're not in an isolated area. For example, like going over to their house, going on a hike, going to a hotel room, things like that. Don't do that. Don't go to like private rooms with them of any sort. I think the best idea is to go to a public space, maybe like a cafe, restaurant, a mall. I know those don't sound like very fun dates, but you can get creative and think of public places where you guys can go. The arcade, maybe, carnival, festival, amusement park, and the list goes on. Other bad places for first dates are places that are really loud, like a club. Not that anyone would be going to a club, but maybe a bar. I think bars are too loud and noisy. Anyways, that's up to you guys, but personally, I think loud places aren't good places to get to know someone. Where else? Movies are a bad first date in my opinion, because you don't get to know the person very well. It's just like you're doing an activity but you're not getting to know this person. So unless you know this person very well already, if you do know this person pretty well, I don't think these tips really apply for you, because in this modern dating age, most people are meeting people through dating apps or getting set up by their friends or blind dates, things like that. You don't know much about the person you're going on a date with. Now I'm going in with this peach suede shade on my base. Anyways, I wanted to share with you guys, out of all the first dates I've been on, and I've been on quite a few, I just wanted to share some of the things I look out for to signify a good first date. There's a couple good signs you look out for before a first date. I like when a guy leads, initiates, and plans the first date, which I know isn't asking for much, and most girls say it's bare minimum, or that's like something you should already expect from a guy, but you would be surprised more often than not, guys don't really plan first dates, or they don't plan them well, or they don't really put any effort into it, and it really leaves you being the one having to lead. Like, they might ask you out, but they won't have a plan after that, you know? They expect you to come up with something or offer up an idea because they don't have any. If a guy plans a first date, that's a good sign already. I really like it when a guy does that. And you know, another one, obviously, they tell you where and when to be, and they show up on time. Of course, that's a really good sign. They're texting you to follow up, double check on you before the date. They're making sure you feel comfortable. They're making sure that everything works out. And I think that's the kind of initiative that is a great sign for someone you're going out with. Now I'm using this shade it's a shimmery shade, by the way. It's like a coppery shimmery shade. I'm gonna mix it with this one as well, this lighter shade. These two shades, I'm going in the inner corner and the lower lid and outer lid, especially here around the base. Anyways, now I'm doing my eyeliner. She goes all the way in and does like a cat corner eye, so that's what I'm gonna be doing, or at least attempting. I feel like that's such a signature Lisa look. It's not gonna work on my eye shape, I think, but I'm gonna try it anyways. Things to look out for on the date. I think this is less obvious than it seems, because most people are basing what they think a good first date and chemistry means based on the TV shows they've seen, based on movies that they watch. And in these TV shows and movies, they usually portray extremely toxic, chaotic relationships as desirable, as like things that you should strive for. And I honestly used to believe those shows and believe those movies. And I would look for like this butterfly type feeling when I was going on first dates. Oh my goodness, guys. This is why I don't do these types of looks. Guys, this does not look good. I'm trying to convince myself it's fine, but it's really not. And I don't know how to fix it. Oh, guys. Okay, you know what? I have to keep going. I cannot leave it looking like this because, oh my god, it gets worse. No, no. This is not happening. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna keep going. So, what is a sign that a first date is going well? Well, a sign that it's going well is they are being a very attentive listener, very straightforward. But I've been on dates where the guy was a horrible listener. He was on his phone the entire time, and even though he tried to make it seem like he was listening, I could tell he was not. Half his mind was somewhere else, and I think it was because he was on call for work. But honestly, like, if you're on call for work, you should not agree to a date that you cannot be fully attentive at. You know what I mean? In any conversation you're having, you should be giving it your all, trying to focus, trying to give them all your attention. Guys, I like really hate this look right now. I really don't know what's going on. I really don't need to look close. I don't know either what's going on. I'm honestly really tired. I want to keep going. I'm gonna try to fix this with concealer. Maybe that'll help. Okay, some obvious things to look out for. You want to make sure that this person is listening to things you say. You can tell very easily if someone is or not based on how they talk to you, based on if they're actually asking you questions about the things you're talking about. They remember things you told them or mentioned in conversation, or at least trying to make meaningful conversation. If they are showing active interest in things you're saying, all those things, asking questions about you. If you guys have been talking for a while before this date, or are they bringing up things that you've told them? Basically, are they actively trying to get to know you? I'm supposed to do a little bit of contour at the bottom of my nose. Other good signs on the first date are that he really communicates with you. He's very prepared for the date. You know, he lets you know that he's there. Maybe he brings you flowers. He makes the reservation. He does a little something extra based on things you've told him, things you like. Little gestures that show that he cares. I want to add some dots to my face first. That's what she does in the video. So far. Looks good. It's over. So, what do you call? Last step, she says, is to contour the face. I want to say another first date tip I look out for is someone who's very attentive. And what does attentive mean? Attentive means, well, yeah, already I mentioned this, that he's a good listener. He listens to things you say in conversation. Another sign he's attentive is he is looking out for your needs. He's filling your water glass throughout the night. He is taking your coat. He's making sure that you're comfortable, things like that. And lastly, I think this is a very important point to mention. Conversation flows naturally and it's easy and it's comfortable, because a lot of the time, based on media and songs, movies, all this influence from other people, you think that if you like somebody, you should be feeling butterflies, you should be feeling sparks flying on these dates, you should be feeling like this super irresistible chemistry, this pull, magnetic force, something that makes you feel on top of the world, excited, butterflies in your stomach, shy, nervous type of thing. And what I've learned over all these dates is that that's actually a bad sign. That's a sign that maybe this person isn't right for you. That's your body's natural response to somebody. If your body's natural response to somebody is nervousness and butterflies, then maybe you need to reevaluate what you deem attraction, what makes you feel safe, because you should not be feeling butterflies. That's usually a sign that you actually feel unsafe around the person. And I've learned that the hard way, that actually feeling comfortable with somebody, not feeling really nervous, feeling like someone is kind of boring or feeling like they are not exciting enough, actually means that you're attracted to toxicity, because a normal healthy relationship does not include always feeling on edge, always feeling really excited, always feeling like you can't predict what's gonna happen next. And a lot of girls go after this exciting, unpredictable, butterflies type of feeling. The guy that makes you feel that way, they think it's the one, or the one that is meant for you, because there's this extreme feeling that you're feeling and you mistake it for attraction, love, or connection. And it's not that. It's actually just your body telling you that maybe this person isn't the one, you know, this isn't the safe situation for you. But that's often mistaken for connection. And I felt that way as well, that if somebody wasn't dragging me up and down from like the sky down to the deepest points of hell, then they weren't the one, because they weren't making me feel excited. And that's not the way it should be, you know. Things should be stable and you shouldn't be feeling nervous and like you can't predict what's gonna happen next, because that's just a sign that this person is not making you feel safe. This person is making things difficult, and you're mistaking that for attraction and for excitement, and that's not the truth. So once you find someone who gives you that balance of, you know, still keeping things exciting and spontaneous, but also making you feel comfortable and safe, and not like your stomach is on fire every time you see them or before you see them, that's how you know that things are going pretty well. That's how you know you have somebody who's worth seeing again, who would probably be a good person to go on another date with, somebody who is gonna be good for you, someone who's a good influence on your life, somebody who makes things exciting without the toxicity that comes with it. So anyways, I don't think I really like how this makeup look turned out, but luckily, as per usual, I'm not going anywhere after this. I decided to try something new. I'm not going anywhere after this, that's the point. I hope you guys like the makeup look. I know I don't look like Lisa. I got the bangs, I got the race, you know, I'm Asian. I thought it would be fun to try something new. Maybe if I add some, oh, I forgot I had highlight. You know what? I know this video was a whole lot of me rambling, not really saying much, and I know that I'm not an expert at makeup by any means, but I love trying something new. I love making videos for this channel, so if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Please give me recommendations for what you want to see in my next videos, makeup looks, topics you want me to talk about, anything. And if you guys want to support this channel extra, you can now leave super thanks comments, and that really helps support my channel. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you next time. Bye.